You lie awake at night thinking to yourself, is love ever going to find me? Am I going to be forever alone? Is this going to be what the rest of my life looks like? I remember crying myself to sleep, y'all. It was hard. I felt like finding love was completely out of my control. In this video, you are going to learn how to enjoy the wait. And number two, you're going to also learn how to position yourself so that love can find you easier. That love that you're craving doesn't have to feel so out of reach. It might even be right around the corner. Welcome back to Gabby's Glow and Grow. I'm Gabby, and I'm so happy for you to be here today. Today we are getting a little bit vulnerable. I'm getting a little bit vulnerable. I'm first going to start off with the obvious, and then I'll get into more of the juicier things. You know what I'm saying? If you get to the end of the video, you are going to find a tip that will change your life and might even be the one that helps you find that man. Okay. But this is so important. This is so important. My first tip is start by loving yourself first. I know it's like, yeah, it's obvious and we know that and yada, yada. There's so much more to loving yourself. It is hard to love yourself sometimes. Like, it's hard. It is hard to love yourself sometimes, because oftentimes you're pouring out so much love into other people, into your family, into your friends, and then you're empty. Like, who is pouring into you? You know what I mean? So we are going to start off by pouring love into ourselves. Taking the responsibility to love on us. It is so important. If you do not do this, you're going to find yourself in a healthy relationship and still feel lonely and still feel like you're yearning for love. And I believe that that can be a dangerous place. It is so very possible to be in a relationship and feel like you're not receiving love, or the love that person is giving you isn't enough. Think of like a bowl with holes in it, and that person is pouring. And then you still like, yo, I need more. But you loving yourself is like patching those holes, and you pouring into yourself is going to make you feel more fulfilled, so that when that person comes around, you're not going to put the responsibility of you being whole into their hands. You know what I mean? So it's very important that you start by loving yourself. What do you love to do? Right? So is it something that you've always wanted to try? Is it a hobby that you've always wanted to try? Is it a place that you've always wanted to try? A restaurant, a new movie, a new experience, a spa day? What is it that makes you feel loved, right? Is it getting beautiful photos taken of you? I don't know. What is your thing? Is it cooking your favorite meal? Is it writing a love letter to yourself? Loving yourself is going to take effort. It's not just looking into the mirror and saying, oh, you look so nice today. No, it takes effort. In the same way that you would want someone to take their time to buy you flowers or do something nice for you, take the time, literally set out time and say, hey, this is a time that I'm going to pour into myself. I'm going to do something nice for myself. If you're someone who doesn't get your nails done often, go ahead, schedule some time, go get your nails done, make it a whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Take yourself out on a date. Do things that make you feel loved, make you feel important, because you are important. A big part of loving yourself also is the way you treat yourself, the way you speak to yourself. Do you have grace when you make mistakes with yourself? Like, sometimes we can be our biggest like bully. I don't want to say bully, but like, dang. Because I think to myself, honestly, and I'm be totally transparent and vulnerable, I am the hardest person on me. Like, no one can be harder on me than me. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's like, it makes me very sensitive when other people give me feedback because I've already beaten myself up first. Then you trying to beat me up too. It's too much. You know what I'm saying? So also it comes back to that. How are you speaking to yourself? How are you treating yourself? Are you giving yourself grace? Are you forgiving yourself? Oh my gosh. For the things that maybe, you've done in the past, or maybe the things that, I don't know, that one time you were embarrassed when you tripped in front of your crush. Girl, it is not that deep. Have you forgiven yourself for that one time your pad leaked through your pants and you were a grown woman and you're like, yo, I should be past this? Small things like that, right? Small things like that speak to your self-love. So all of that to say, it is so important that you love yourself. Ask yourself, how can I nurture myself? What is it that I need? What is it that I'm looking for in other people, right? And in loving yourself, you are going to be ready when the person that you are meant to be with comes around. Why? Because he already sees the way you treat you. You're already used to a certain way of you're already used to a certain treatment. You know what I mean? So when he sees you, he's going to be like, yeah. And love when you see it now because you've shown yourself love. But if you've never shown yourself love and they're giving you garbage, why should you accept it? You know what love is. You've shown yourself that love already. So what are we doing? Bye. Loving yourself is not just about self-care routines, taking yourself out to eat solely, or, a nice bubble bath. Loving yourself really comes down to treating yourself the way you want your partner to treat you. And when you love yourself, the wait becomes so much easier. The time is going to fly. You're not going to be like, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? You're going to be so into your own life. He's just going to appear and be like, damn, you look good. My second point is you need to heal yourself. There's so much that we've experienced growing up, and that can really, really affect your future relationship, your ability to get into a new relationship immensely. Okay. A little story time. And I still experience this as well. I still have healing to go through myself. But I am a very loud communicator. I don't even have to be mad to be loud. And so when I was speaking to, my partner at the time, he's still my partner now. When I was speaking to my husband at the time, he was my boyfriend at the time, I would speak to him so rough. I still kind of do, I'm working on it, folks. But I would speak to him so rough because growing up, I felt like I always had to almost yell to get my point across or to be heard. So then when I used to have conversations with my husband and maybe he wasn't understanding what I was saying, I would raise my voice unknowingly. And I'm still working on that, honestly. But it makes it really hard to be in relationship with someone who has not completely healed from their trauma. And a big part of why it's important to heal is because those areas that you're not healed in can hurt your partner. And the last thing you want is to hurt your partner. You know what I mean? It can also make it very hard for you to be vulnerable with that person. That person also is going to press buttons, man. Buttons that you never even knew existed. They're going to trigger things in you, right? Because essentially that person is sent to you to make you better, right? Iron sharpens iron kind of thing. So because they're in such close proximity to you, closer than anyone else will ever be probably, they're going to be pressing stuff that has never been pressed before. They may trigger you. They may do things that not intentionally making you scared, but they may do things that scare you, that bring up trauma. And it's not necessarily that they're a bad person, right? But it's just there are some unresolved things. And it's really, really good if you try to make sense of those things and heal from those things before he gets there. Now, are you ever going to be completely healed? No. But making it his job to heal you is a huge problem. Like, it is not that person's job to heal you of trauma. It is something that you need to do along the way. And then if he gets there before you're completely healed, fine. Like, God is perfect in his timing, right? And I believe that healing is a byproduct of love. It is. It's going to happen regardless. There are going to be moments where he heals that inner child in you, or he makes you feel safe and different things like that. But heal what you can first, because it'll make it a lot easier to enjoy that romance, to enjoy your own love story. Like, it'll just make it a lot easier. Whether that's journaling, whether that's deep reflection, whether that's just going to therapy or expressing, feelings in, other ways that you feel comfortable doing, just go ahead and take the time to do so, because it is going to make it so much more beautiful to step into a relationship from a healed place and not from a place of trauma. You are less likely to be taken advantage of when you're healed. Even if you feel like you don't have any areas, like you're like, yeah, I'm fine, trust me, you do. And when he comes along, go ahead and see a therapist about it. When he presses that button and you're like, oh, just go see a therapist. Just go. It'll be fine. You'll be okay. My third point is build a life that you are proud of. Listen, this is my biggest thing. Why is it? Or it's one of my biggest things. Why? Because when you have your own stuff going on, it is so attractive. And I'm telling you, that is going to draw in a man that's like, ooh, I love her because she got her own. Like, yes, like she has her own thing going on. That's so attractive. Number one, it's attractive. Number two, you begin to enjoy the wait more. The wait is like the worst part. When he finally gets there in your life, you're like, yay, oh my gosh, everything's great. But if you have ever had the thought, my life doesn't start until this person gets here, like, this is a tip you need to start doing. Build a life that you're truly excited about. So are you going to start taking a new hobby, or picking up a new hobby, or taking a new class? What is it that you're going to do to make every day exciting, to make you look forward to the day? You know what I'm saying? I took my own advice recently. Maybe about a few days ago, I ended up doing a Lyra aerial class. I had so much fun. I felt so sexy, so beautiful. I felt so strong. I had never felt so good about myself. And honestly, I told my husband I was going to take this class the day of, and he was like, missing me so much and and I'm sure he liked the videos and all that stuff. I did have a little mishap, because when I was on there, my tights burst down the middle. Like, it split down the middle in the instructor's face. All my goodies were out. But aside from that, I had such a great time, and I believe that it just made me more attractive. But if you're always at home waiting, for something to happen, or if you're in a relationship, you're waiting for him to come home and it's like, dang, you don't have nothing else going on. You know what I'm saying? You're talking to someone or a prospect, and he's like, so what do you do? And you're like, well, I go horseback riding. That's like, damn. That's so attractive, right? So I would say build a life that you're excited about, right? What else excites you? Is it traveling? You gonna wait for him to get here to travel? Baby, your man is in Barcelona and here you are acting a fool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, travel. You know what I'm saying? Pick up a new hobby. Is it cycling? Is it tennis? Is it Pole dancing. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There are so many other hobbies that you can do that make you feel better about yourself, and then it's attractive. You know what I mean? Put it down in the chat. What are the most attractive hobbies that women can do? That could even mean focusing on passions or career goals, just going for things that a lot of other people probably wouldn't go for. Go for whatever brings you joy, like true joy that makes you glow, okay? And he's gonna see. He's gonna be like, wow, that woman over there, you know what I mean? She's gorgeous. You're glowing from the inside because you're truly happy. Like, listen, okay? And you never know. He might just find you in the midst of you doing that thing, in the midst of you going outside. But if you stay inside, or you never post on social media, you never put yourself out there, then how is he supposed to find you? Like, and sometimes I feel like we kind of like over spiritualize love. Like, oh, you know, he's, for this, for my Christians, he's gonna, you know, God's gonna tell him to come to this address and knock on this door, and I'm gonna open it, and that's gonna be my husband. Like, be for real. Go outside. You know what I mean? If your church, they don't look good, the men are not doing it for you at your church, go ahead and visit another church. Hey, you know what I mean? Hey, delete that last one though. Delete that last one. I'm playing too much. Stay at your church if you want, whatever. So yeah, so when you focus on building a life that you truly love, I'm telling you that you're going to radiate a light that's going to draw in love naturally. Okay? But no one likes a bitter girl who or a bitter woman who has nothing going on. Just saying. So figure out what you want your thing to be. Even if you're nervous. I was so nervous before my class, and it probably doesn't show on camera, but I'm an introvert. I was like, ugh. And I went, and now it's my personality trait. No one can tell me anything. Bye. Now, I'm going to keep this specific tip, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Do not let loneliness make you settle. Some people prefer to be with someone, like, even if they know that person is not deserving of them, opposed to being lonely. Some people choose to be in toxic relationships opposed to being lonely. Loneliness is a terrible, terrible feeling. I know how you feel. However, I would rather be alone by myself than to be in a relationship where I feel alone. Sorry. So, don't allow loneliness to make you fall into this trap of just being with a lowlife or someone who's undeserving of who you are as a person. If that person does not see your beauty and does not treat you as such, that person has to go. Make room for who my husband really is. You're just a placeholder, dude. Like, I'll be dang. My husband across the room looking fine like wine. But then he looks at me and I'm sitting next to a bum like you. And now he doesn't want to speak to you. You know what I'm saying? Imagine you're in that scenario. That sucks. I'd rather be by myself looking good, and I'd rather you be by yourself looking good or with your girls or with whoever, and he comes up to you like, yeah, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Opposed to your social media is filled up with photos of somebody who doesn't even post photos of you. I don't know. Do not let loneliness make you settle. Okay? Do not be afraid of being alone. We all feel alone at some point in time, but those feelings don't stay with you. Maybe at night, just go to sleep quick. Just go to sleep quick, honestly. On a serious note, when you're craving love, it is so easy to fall for someone who's just showing you attention and doing the bare minimum. You deserve so much more than that. Not only a love that fills the silence, but a love that is right. Truly, truly right. Stay true to your values, stay true to your boundaries, and wait for the person that truly aligns with you. Lastly, be open to opportunities. Get out there. He is not going to find you in your freaking house. He's not. So accept that friend's invite. Go to that party. What do you guys think about Christian Mingle? I don't know. I've never done like online dating. Going to different networking events, trying to find like-minded people. There are so many other opportunities out there. Go for them. Don't be afraid. If you feel like this is potentially an environment where you can find your other half, I would definitely go for it. Don't be afraid. Don't stay holed up like a hermit. You are too beautiful and wonderful to be hidden away. You are doing the world an injustice by staying cooped up. Go ahead, take any opportunity that you think will lead you to that person. And you never know. It could be as simple as you're walking by and you just do a little, good evening, good afternoon. That might be the, hold on. You just never know what can happen, who you can encounter. All right. And love comes when you least expect it. So I hope this video was helpful to you. I really want you to remember to first love yourself. Love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. Love yourself, heal yourself. Don't settle, and be open to more opportunities. I promise it will all work out in the end, okay? And you're going to look back and be like, the wait wasn't that bad, right? I want you to enjoy the wait and position yourself where you can actually find love, not in your house. Okay? Heal yourself. Don't get into toxic relationships that you know aren't leading anywhere. Girl, stop wasting your time. If you know in your heart of hearts that this is not someone who you see yourself marrying and being happily married to, chop, 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 goodbye. We don't have time. If that person is making you feel confused and y'all are just talking and you're like, what are we? What are we? Chop, chop, chop. You gotta go. It is time that we start to prioritize loving ourselves, number one, and that is going to draw in people. That is going to draw in people who adore us the same way we adore ourselves. I want to know, what is one thing you're going to do this week to lead yourself closer to love? I actually want to say thank you for watching this video as well, because this is one way that you have decided to love on yourself. You're giving yourself time to learn how to love on yourself. You're taking the time to educate yourself on how can I do better by me. I want you guys to also share any tips that you have found or that maybe I didn't talk about on how you can enjoy the wait and how you can lead yourself to love. Put it down in the comments. I am really curious and I love having conversations in there. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe so that you can continue watching some of my other videos. I help women build the life that they love through conversations that lead to actions. This was the Glow and Grow podcast. I'm so grateful that you even got here to the end. Mwah. I love you so much, and hopefully this was helpful to you. I'll see you in the next video. Just bring it in. Group hug. Peace.